Hello, hello, gorgeous human being. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm so excited to be having this chat with you today. If we've not met before, hey, my name is Elnaj, and I'm coming to you from the spectacular realm of the unapologetic woman, where we honestly collapse time and space to meet in the present, the here and the now, for a curious conversation and exploration of what else is available to us in this time. If I haven't met you before, then please do pop your details into the comments. Let me know who you are and where you are dialing in from. I am in the physical realm of New Zealand. Normally, I'm a day ahead of most people in the rest of the world. But as I say, this is how we actually get to collapse time and space and meet in the present, right here, right now, in this moment. And if you know me, say hi as well. I'm always just delighted to say hi to my friends and to, encourage weird conversations. Oh, where to even begin? I'm gonna begin here. What a blessing to be alive. What a blessing to be alive. What a blessing to have this body. And as I was getting dressed yesterday to go to a friend's funeral, I paused and looked in the mirror and looked at my entire body, and it hit me. The only difference between the presence of my friend and my presence is this body. The gray hair and the eyes and the thighs and the tummy and the hands. Like, this is the difference between us and all those that we love who have transitioned into non-physical, still present, but they just don't have this body anymore. So can we give some love and appreciation for the bodies that we are wearing today? And it's an introduction as well into the conversation that I want to share with you today, which is around tapping into wealth, tapping into your true wealth. And a big part of that, my friend, is your body. Is your body. So let's first connect to the concept of wealth. Let's just take a moment to start there, because I know that as I talk about wealth, the first thing that comes to mind for most of conditioned society is money. Money, 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 money. How much money do you have in the bank? That's wealth. Except, have you noticed how many people have a lot of money in the bank and they don't feel fulfilled? They're not joyful. They're not satisfied. They're not present. And how many people there are in the world who don't have tons of money in the bank and are all those things. They're fulfilled, they're joyful, they're healthy, they're thriving, they're present, they're just so full of life. Which is why we are defining wealth in this moment as being well and healthy, being wealthy. And I am not by any means making money wrong for anybody. I do believe that money is an energetic amplifier. It's an energetic amplifier of choice. It's an energetic amplifier of our focus. It's an energetic amplifier of our beliefs. It's an energetic amplifier of receptivity and of giving. So it's just an energetic amplifier and a container that we have created in society. But I am talking to us today about true wealth, being well and healthy, and bringing that back for us to our bodies. Now, I am not exactly referring here to having a six-pack and bulging biceps and rocking triceps, unless, of course, those things light your ass on fire, and then by all means, girlfriend, have them. Like, I am not making any body shape right or wrong. I am talking about us being healthy and, more importantly, understanding, paying attention paying attention to our bodies, paying attention to the messages from our bodies, and understanding the process of what's happening between our minds, our energy, our soul, and our physical body. And understanding, again, this is the difference between us and non-physical, because we are already non-physical, but with a physical experience. We are non-physical with a physical experience. And the only difference between me and my friend is I still have my physical experience, my physical body. But interesting how life always shows me how to get into deeper awareness, and how much I can support people around me by sharing that which I inherently know and draw upon in the moment, and allowing myself to be that vessel for them. And so I was finding myself sitting on the edge of the bed of my partner's son yesterday morning, and he was having a sore tummy. And I intuitively knew that it was not about something that he ate, that this was about him experiencing emotions that he does not have conscious awareness of, or does not have the emotional, mental, verbal maturity to express or understand. And he's not processing it. And so therefore it gets stuck in his body, and it starts causing him dis-ease. And so I sat and I explained to him in a way that a 12-year-old could receive. And I'm going to share this explanation with you, because I think regardless of how old we are and how mature we are or whatever, the truth remains simple and the truth remains easy to understand. So let's go. We are source having evolution through human experience. And part of that experience is everything that we see, feel, observe in this life. Now, as humans, we love to make sense of everything that we see. So wherever you're finding yourself, in whatever environment you are finding yourself in, whatever circumstances you are finding yourself in, even right now in this moment, if you just take a moment and look around you, what you will find is that you tell a story about every single thing that you say. This happens completely unconsciously. It's a natural event that occurs. And so there's a story that's being told about every little item that you observe, every interaction that you observe. You are having a story about observing me in this moment. And in that story, we create an emotion. There is an emotion that you are feeling around everything. From the pencil that came from the hotel where I stayed at with my partner in Auckland on the recent trip, to my journal pen, like everything has a story, you guys, and everything creates an emotion in you. Everything creates an emotion in you. That emotion is the feedback that is created between my inner being, your soul, your God source, whatever it is that you want to call it, how they see something and how you are seeing it. The emotion is an indicator of whether there is alignment, whether it's calibrated, or if there's dissonance. So how you interpret something, how you view something is either the same or similar as source, or the opposite. Not making it wrong. And I want you to understand that source doesn't make it wrong either. Your inner being, your soul, is not sitting there going, yo, buttercup, no, you have to think this way. No, it's just an indicator. But this indicator has an energetic vibration to it. The vibration is either really high because we're feeling joy, we found alignment, we're in the groove, we're in the flow, or it gradually comes down to feeling a little bit off, or irritated, or or angry or scared or whatever the case might be, right? There's an emotion and that has an energetic frequency to it. What I have observed in children especially is that we as adults condition them, show them that they are accepted, we are accepted when we are either happy, woohoo, life is great, I'm going, baby, it's all jivey and groovy, or I'm really sad. I'm really sad. And when I get sad, then people give me certain attention and I'm still accepted. But there is an area in between that people do not accept so nicely. When we feel angry, people don't like to be in the face of anger. They don't like to be in the face of irritation. They don't like to be in the face of stubbornness. And so we condition ourselves and each other really to either show up really sad or really happy. The bad and the mad, not so much. And even the sad, we can, can be there for a little while. And then it's time to bounce back, bunny. It's time to get back to happy again. Now, understanding this as well, happy is our natural state, guys. That is truly, joy is who we truly are, but we get to have the full range of experience. So if we get stuck in anything between sad and happy, and we don't have a way or a space to express and release that energy, well, it has to go somewhere. And so where that energy goes is it goes into our physical bodies. And we start feeling nauseous, tummy ache, heartache, backache, spasms, whatever the case might be, right? If the calibration stays long enough, we start getting dis-ease and then disease, because disease is an enhanced state of dis-ease or a prolonged state of dis-ease, which then actually starts changing the physical cells in our body. So one of the tools that I shared with this beautiful boy is how to throw a tantrum. Oh, glorious, glorious tantrums. Just lying on the bed, kicking and screaming and bouncing pillows and punching and letting everything out. Letting everything out. Because, by the way, this is how I went from being suicidally depressed to thriving after quitting therapy, after quitting medication. Take full responsibility for your personal journey, please. But I just knew that I had enough of that. And I said to the universe, you have to show me a different way. And the universe took me to kickboxing. And that is when I started understanding, as I was boxing, I just felt this immense sense of self-empowerment. I started allowing myself to feel all the emotions I had not allowed myself to feel before. And I'm not talking about the sadness. The sadness was a result of me suppressing everything else. I was freaking mad. And I was mad because I was being bad. I was feeling bad because at the end of the day, I did not allow myself to be myself. I had abandoned myself. I had abandoned my emotions. And can you do a punch like boxing? I'm very sure, because it's jab, jab, cross, right? I did kickboxing for many years after discovering it, and it was just the best thing. And I'm encouraging youths to do this the same at the moment, because they need a space to be. They need a space to be angry and to release that energy out of their bodies. Guys, this body is the only one we get to have in this lifetime. And if we truly want to look after this body, we have to embrace, we get to embrace. I'm not ever going to tell you what you have to do. I think there's enough people doing that. But we the full human experience with all the emotions. come with that. So as we start understanding that we're observing things, we tell a story, we get a feeling, and then that feeling has an energetic vibrancy to it, which is what creates action in our lives, which is what creates movement in our lives. We get to a space of understanding that any story that we telling ourselves does not have to be the story for the rest of our lives. So I have become really good at being the observer of my stories. And I had to get to a point for myself where it's more important for me to be happy than to be right. Like, it's more important for me to be happy than to be right. Because not being happy, having gone through the depression, that sucked. I went through it, and I'm not making that wrong, and I'm not making it wrong for anybody else either. I was in it for as long as I needed to be in it in order for me to choose to not be in it. But I enjoy feeling happy more than I enjoy feeling right. That in and of itself, by the way, is a miracle. And if you haven't watched the miracle video, I highly recommend you go to last week's video, which was all about miracles. When we start choosing happiness above our preference for being right, what you start finding is that you'll observe a thought and you'll go, okay, cool, that could be right. But does that thought make me happy? Does that increase my vibration to greater and greater wealth, wellness, and happiness, and healthy? Because if it doesn't, I would rather tell another story. I would rather find another angle. And for the most part, it's not easy to just flick it on the ticky, to just go to the opposite, because I am also a stubborn, resilient woman. So I have to massage the story and come at it from a different angle and go, well, what if? What else is possible? What else is possible for me to think in this moment? Not saying that I have to think it, just what else is possible for me to think in this moment? And then 1 degree at a time, I get to make a different choice. And as I make a different choice 1 degree at a time, I can feel my energy change. What I'm finding is that the more I choose joy, the healthier my physical body is. And I want to say this as well. It's not overnight for me. It's not overnight for me. And that clearly is a belief that I have, that it has to take a little bit of time. I'm cool with it. I've got time. Or not. It doesn't matter. My invitation to you today is to just become present to your wellness and your health, your wealth, to become present to your choices with regards to your observations and the stories that you tell yourself in everything that you're observing, and feel the energy in that story and what that's actually doing to your body. Observe this over a few days, and without being attached to change, don't force the change. There's just so much out there that tells us we have to force the change. We have to get motivated and do it. Feel the whatever and do it anyway. My invitation is for you to simply become the observer and choose 1 degree different in the moment, if that is what you desire. Because quite frankly, sometimes We want to be angry for a while longer. We want to be sad for a while longer. And why not? The only reason you wouldn't give yourself permission to feel what it is that you feel is because of what other people will think or say about you and their reactions to you. I think it's about time for unapologetic women to embrace the entire spectrum of emotion and understand that the emotion is simply an indication of our thought process in calibration to our inner being's thought process. And then we get to create our experience more intentionally. So, I hope that this has had some meaning for you. Now, if you are the kind of woman who want to explore this a little bit more, then I invite you to book a consultation with me and to see what even would be the right container. So there's only two ways to work with me at this time. The one is private work, and the other is to join the soiree, which is my membership for business women who really are on big missions, but who want to find rich conversation and deeper connection with other women from where to form natural calibrations. Other than that, guys, just remember we get to live our legacies unleashed, unlimited, and unapologetic. Have an amazing day further. I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.